Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dan on Sports. Well, here we go. Our final look at how I am projecting the Major League Baseball season. First two episodes, we focused on the Western divisions in the National and American Leagues and the Central divisions. And now we're going to take a look at the Eastern divisions in both the American League and the National League. And again, this isn't just outright predictions. This team's going to do this. This team might win. None of that. It's just how I think things are going to turn out. So, that said, let's begin with the American League East, where the defending American League champion Toronto Blue Jays, and we all know the Blue Jays came within a half inch of winning the World Series. They won the American League East last year. They ended up tied with the Yankees, but were declared the Eastern Division champs because they won the season series. I think the Blue Jays are going to remain steady. I know they lost Bo Bichette, but they proved for a portion of the season that they could play without Bichette, even though he participated in the World Series. So I think the Blue Jays are going to be steady. They've improved themselves. They've improved the pitching. So I look for the Blue Jays to be the Blue Jays and very much a contending team which will make the playoffs. New York Yankees, I know a lot of people are saying the Yankees are going to take a step back. Remember, they won 94 games last year. The Yankees, they didn't spend this, they didn't spend that. First of all, the Yankees still have one of the highest payrolls in all of baseball. And here's why I think the Yankees are going to be better. Even though I know they've got some injuries going into the season, that Volpe won't be ready for the start of the season, that the pitchers, some of the pitchers won't be ready for the start of the season. Three starters in particular, in the case of Cole, Rodon, and Schmidt. But I think that's a Yankee strength. They've got a lot of good young pitchers who are ready to burst through from the farm system into the major leagues. And watch out for Spencer Jones, because maybe his time has arrived. So I think Spencer Jones, former first-round pick, who I saw hit some mammoth home runs in the Eastern League, his time might come. And who knows about Jason Dominguez? All I'm saying is this. I think the Yankees are going to be better than what people think. Baltimore Orioles, definitely better. Now, how could you not be better with Pete Alonso on the team? I mean, Alonso's going to make a major contribution, but they've also strengthened the pitching. So I think the Orioles are actually going to be better than they were in 2025. They've got a new manager. That's going to make a difference. Watch out for the Orioles. In fact, the top three teams in the American League East could very well make the playoffs. So watch out. Boston Red Sox, I know a lot of people are upbeat on the Red Sox, the trades they made, the signings they made, their pitching is better. Yeah, their pitching is better. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But my feeling about the Red Sox, we'll see. They're relying, first of all, on some players who are a little bit better than mid-level, like a Durbin, whom they acquired from the Milwaukee Brewers. And also, they're relying on Sonny Gray. Good luck. And Suarez making the jump to the American League. And I know that, hey, with Crochet leading the pitching staff, an ace like that, plus you've got Bayo, plus you got some of the other young pitchers, you've got Roman Anthony. I get it. Red Sox could be very good, or they might not be very good. Red Sox are a mystery to me. And that's why I've given them a meh. And the Tampa Bay Rays, the same thing. Although you can never dismiss the Rays, particularly since they're back playing in their home environment. So right now I give them a meh. The Rays could go from last place to being in the mix for a playoff hunt. And I put the Red Sox in the same category. So we'll see. That's why they get my meh. Now, National League East, Philadelphia Phillies steady. In fact, they might even be a tad better than they were as far as last season is concerned. Don't rule out the Phillies being a big force in the National League East and in the National League in general. Atlanta Braves are going to be better. I know they've got issues with a player being suspended for the year. I get all that, but I do believe the Braves will be better. I do believe that a new manager, Walt Weiss, brings a different voice, although he was the right-hand man of Brian Snitker. So I think the Braves will be better. Now the Mets, everybody's upbeat on the Mets. Pitching has gotten a bit better. I don't think there's any doubt about it, with Peralta being acquired from the Brewers, and he'll get the start. And also Bo Bichette. But you don't know how long Lindor's going to be out. Oh, he's going to be ready. Well, we'll see if he's going to be ready. You don't know about Lindor, and you don't know about how Bichette is going to adjust to a new position. Second base, I know they've got a veteran presence. First base, you've got a player in Polanco who's a veteran but is really learning the position. And I don't know about the Mets outfield. I know they've got a lot of young players. I've seen some of them at the AA level, a lot of talent. I understand that. But I don't think the Mets are going to be as good as some people think. And that bullpen is going to be an issue. I mean, it's essentially the New York Yankees bullpen from last year, which was an issue. So I give them a meh. Miami Marlins, they'll be better. They improved last year. They've got a lot of good young talent. So they could be one of those teams that finishes last or finishes in the mix. And then you've got the Washington Nationals, who seem to be in a perpetual rebuild. Now they've got a new head of baseball operations running the whole show, the former assistant GM of the Red Sox. Maybe they turn it around, but it's not going to be overnight. So I see the Phillies as being steady, the Braves being better, the Mets. I know Mets fans, they're so enthusiastic, and I understand that. And, maybe the Mets, I don't know about the Mets. They could be very good or they could be meh, is what I'm saying. I would not be surprised, for example, if their manager doesn't last the season. That's how I think the Mets situation is. They could be good, they could be meh. I'm looking at the Mets to be more meh. Miami Marlins, I look to the Marlins to be a better team, and the Washington Nationals are the Washington Nationals, always in a rebuild. We shall see. But that's how I view the American League East, the National League East. You can go back through the other segments I've posted in the newsletter if you missed out on my overviews of the Western and Central divisions, and we'll see what unfolds. Have a lot of fun. That's really what being a baseball fan is, right? And following these teams, having fun, and enjoying the national pastime. So there you have it. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you very much for subscribing to my newsletter. And to do that, you can go to danonsports.com and enjoy your baseball. See you later.